Flick off your jandals, crack a cold one from the chili bin, chuck on some cans, and enjoy a key take on all things Arsenal.
Hey guys, we're live.
I really dig that intro.
Yeah, that's the
That's
that's your first look at our professional setup here, Zan. We go all out here. Welcome everyone. We're going live out to the world here. Haven't done this in a while.
It's been a little while, isn't it?
We've chosen a good time. Got lots to talk about. But look, we've got Mike here. As always, Zan, who's joined us from Australia, second time on the show, first time showing his face. I apologize for. I didn't tell him either. I just told him like 2 minutes ago. Oh, by the way, we're going live on Facebook.
Oh yeah, I've been at work all day. Come home, I got drenched from the rain that we had for like 5 minutes, which was when I was just outside. Like, yeah, I'm totally prepped for this.
But yeah, let's see how it goes. I think key to remember though is just take a breather. It isn't the end of the world. It was a pretty shitty window, and from one point of view, for the Arsenal, and you expect, Mike, that we'd be sitting here on 1st of February with nothing to talk about?
Mate, you're going. It sounds like you're in a swimming pool with your microphone, but I think I got the gist of what you're talking about. So yes, you could call it kind of disappointing from a certain point of view, but also you got to remember we managed to clear out a lot of dead wood from our squad. We are running very lean as a squad at the moment, but there's a lot of money being saved or not being spent on wages, I suppose, if you look at it that perspective. And if that means towards the I'm starting to sound like Corey here, being positive, but for the next season, if we can bank some of that cash, there could be a decent kitty to be able to purchase some players and look forward. And yes, the players we've got now are performing or semi-performing. We're a little bit light up front, but maybe they can get through, maybe they can't. Time will tell. I just hope that maybe the savings means we can buy some players and get you a haircut.
Yeah, it's definitely a risk, isn't it?
The haircut is definitely a risk.
Come on, turn around. Show them what you've done yourself.
All our viewers, can you show us what you have done, Lord Bentner?
There it is.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, God. He kind of does look like him a bit. Oh, ew. No, like overall, I think that's a pretty good point about like trying to save the money and stuff. Although at the same time, like we are definitely going to have to save some because at this point we're going to have to at least buy a new striker like in the summer transfer window. Because what have we got going into next season currently?
Yes, I mean we all know
Nketiah.
Well,
yeah, but he's leaving.
Yeah, he's going to be given another contract, isn't he?
I hope not.
He's been given multiple contracts. It's whether he signs it.
Yeah, true.
But
we got Balogun to come back.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we need more than just that. We'll see how he goes at Middlesbrough, but like that was kind of a weird one. Like when he went there, like because I also pay close attention to Brighton in the Premier League as well, and like the day before Balogun signed, Brighton also loaned out a striker to them as well. So it's like, oh great, there's already competition for places there, so it'll be interesting to see like how much he actually plays.
Yeah, maybe that just means that Martinelli's going to get more of a shot up front rather than out in the wing.
True.
And we've always got Pepe.
Could be a positive. Pepe coming back is not a positive, but it might mean that we get to see Martinelli a bit more at the pointy end of the field rather than out at the wing, which I think can only be a positive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's going to be down to a little bit of luck. If we stay injury-free, if we stay Xhaka free, for the rest of the season.
Xhaka free. Hang on.
We're Arsenal. We cannot stay Xhaka free.
No.
He's always going to find his way back in.
It's going to be
And then
Xhaka
find his way back out
free.
again. Yeah.
He's good at that.
Look, it's going to be a little bit down to that because we only have 17 games left in the season. We're playing once a week. None of the teams around us strengthened, so I don't see it as the end of the world. I see a lot today where everyone's saying top four's over, but we've still got a decent starting 11, and we can get through it. I think.
I mean, I hate to say it because it feels dirty, but like I would argue Tottenham strengthened.
Did they though? I know they got in 2 from Juventus, but I mean, I wouldn't say it was.
Well, one of them looks quite good actually.
Which one, Bentancur or Kulusevski?
I think it was the B one. I can't say his name.
Bentancur? Yeah, because I also quite highly rate Kulusevski as well. So I think that's actually a pretty damn good pickup for them. And I'm just like, oh, damn it. Why Tottenham? Why do they always sign players I like?
I think they'll struggle though because it's quite a different league coming over and fitting into a team that's already in a bit of catastrophe type scenario. It's going to be hard. Ants is just messaging on what's that Facebook pop-up thing? 3 recognised centre backs. We're very short in defence. Badly need another striker. Yeah, we all know that. Obviously, Arteta doesn't know that, but we all know that we need another striker. But
I think
is it Arteta doesn't know, or is it whoever like organises the transfers? Like I actually don't know who really has the final say in our current setup.
It's probably going to be Edu then, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, who do we have as centre back?
Well,
we have Ben White, we have Gabriel, and Holding.
There's 3 recognised centre backs, and I guess you can say if we desperately needed, we could put Tierney in there and play Tavares on the left.
Tavares.
So that's the way I've sort of looked at it, is the left back can be changed.
Yeah, but we tried that, didn't we? With putting Xhaka there last year.
Well, I mean, we could always do that as well.
Well, we tried that last year and we saw it didn't work. So hopefully we don't have to try that again.
So my understanding of these players that have gone out on loan, if we need, we can call them back, right?
Yeah, unless there's been like something, said in the contract that we can't. But generally, there's a fee involved as well. We can't just call them back without any penalty. But the one's going out on loan though, so let's bring it up here.
Yeah, I definitely need a guide.
And I kind of agree with Martin there as well. Though, like if we look at it, any of the players that have left here, none of them are starting.
What's going on the audio there, guys?
Yeah, no, it's a bit funny, isn't it?
Sounds like someone's got fireworks going on in the background.
I've got an ice pack on my ankle. That was probably it. Sorry.
All right.
None of the players in this list of outgoing players really is a starting 11 player.
One was before,
Maitland-Niles we haven't seen since I can't even remember. Pablo Mari hasn't played this season. Chambers filled in once or twice. Kolasinac I think got a game or 2. So it's not like we're losing players that are key to this squad. It was worst case scenario, we have to put these players in to cover injuries.
Yeah, and we didn't have a problem with having a bloated squad, so.
Just Aubameyang, I think they've said we'll save 25 million over his 2 years from his contract.
I think 18 months. So 1.5 years.
Yeah, we've got players that aren't really key to us off the books, saving money. Kolasinac was on good money as well. So yeah, there's been players that we've been trying to get rid of that we've finally got rid of. Obviously, we would have liked to have got players in, but from the outgoing point of view, I don't think anyone can be too upset. Mike?
I suppose if I look through that list and I had to pick out a name that I'm a little bit annoyed about is probably Maitland-Niles. He has had a few opportunities in the last 2 seasons under Arteta, and he's actually performed, but he seems to be shunted around different positions as kind of like that Swiss Army knife, if you know what I mean. And he's done all right wherever he's kind of played, but he doesn't seem to get a consistent run. So I'm a bit annoyed that he's gone out. I understand why he personally wants to go out because he wants to get game time. Every player wants to play, but from an Arsenal point of view, I don't think that's the right move. I think we needed to integrate him more into the squad and get him playing. The rest of them, Kolasinac, we'd written off last year. Aubameyang writ himself off. Chambers, I mean, he played a couple games this season and he wasn't too bad. He came in, was it against Man City, and played pretty well after barring the first 10 minutes when he kind of was finding his feet. And then after that, it's probably good for some of these young kids to get out and get on a loan, so they actually have some game time. And that's the point of the loan system, I suppose, is we see you as a player for the future, but you need to get out there and get some experience. So good to see that the likes of Balogun and Tyrese, John Jules, etc., are out there getting their experience.
Yeah, that's
yes,
second
George.
half.
I know Maitland-Niles isn't a world beater, but he was effective when we needed him, which I think is a quality that we're going to need as we go towards this last 17 games, because we're not going to go injury free in 17 games. We're not going to go COVID free in 17 games, and we're definitely not going to go red card free in 17 games with the likes of Xhaka, etc. So
I think Maitland-Niles, I mean, we're okay in midfield, I think. So that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Obviously, he's coming back next season, hopefully. I don't know. But for this season, I think we've got enough cover with Oneni coming back. It's more of the right back he can cover, I guess. Yeah, I forgot Tomiyasu. Yeah, Tim said can play can play centre back.
Yeah, he can.
But then if we put Tomiyasu centre back, who plays right back?
Yeah.
Do you want to play Cedric?
No.
Yeah,
he's probably the one player that I would have wanted out and gone with Kolasinac. Like those two can just pass on. Yeah.
I said in the chat today, let's give Cedric captain because the curse is continued. Whoever gets captain,
it would be a very Arsenal
leaves.
thing to do.
So let's give Cedric the captaincy, and then in 6 months' time, we should be free of him.
I'm sure if we troll back through footage, like at some point he's probably worn the armband. Like someone's just been subbed and just given it off to like the closest guy, and it's just been him. So surely it's had to have happened.
Possibly. I don't think so, but you just never know with our leadership group. It's quite a large one. So he could have popped in there once or twice, but anyone else? So Balogun, obviously, we hoped would get a loan out. Do you think with Aubameyang leaving and the options we've got, he could have got some more game time with us, or it's the best move?
Who are you asking, mate?
It doesn't matter. Zan, what do you reckon?
Well, it did seem like Nketiah was the one that was being favoured in front of him, like coming off that sub role for like the last 10 minutes or so. So, I mean, we're probably losing Nketiah at the end of the season anyway, but he is sticking around and we seem to be using him at that point. So it wouldn't be necessarily a given, like, unless someone got injured. And in that case, I think there probably would be some sort of recall thing we could do to bring it back. So it wouldn't have really had much impact on that situation, I think.
No, I mean, again, you got to sort of, I guess, look at what we've got left for the season. And, again, it comes back to barring worst case scenario where we get injuries through the squad or COVID. There just isn't space for more than 3 strikers when we only got 1 game a week, right?
And we only play 1 up front.
And we only play 1 up front.
Yeah.
The only concern is the ones up front. Can they get it through 17 games and actually contribute?
Well, based on the past, let's say, 20-something games, there hasn't been too many, let's say, games where our strikers have kind of bulged that old onion net very heavily. Yeah, so I am a little concerned about the pointing of the field, but I do know the three young guns that are kind of playing in behind that central striker have been really good this season. Just the last couple of games, they've been a little bit off, which is bound to happen, being young kids, etc. So, and such a young squad as well overall. So, I don't write too much into the last three games. It's more. I think it's positive overall, the change that we've had. And Tim's saying about Belligan, it's right. He had outgrown the U23s when he's scoring 3-4 goals a game and whatever. It seems ridiculous, but he wasn't physically up to the Premier League standard when he did get his chance. You could see he was kind of a little bit behind the pace, sort of thing. So getting out there and getting some real match time at a decent level is going to do wonders for his confidence and his ability, I think.
Yeah, Middlesbrough are chasing promotion. They're right in the mix. They've got like a pretty interesting group of attackers. Like it'll be interesting to see how much time he gets, and hopefully he can kind of like show himself off in training and really get picked and like kind of show what he's got. But I think he's at a good place.
Yeah,
in theory,
100%.
Yeah, and he's already started contributing. I saw he got an assist, was it, the other day? So, I mean, are we overreacting a bit after January?
Oh, everyone does. Every January.
Not just the signings, but if we go back to the game. So December was a really good month for goals and for results. And then we got hit with COVID and some really tough fixtures with Liverpool twice and whatnot. So the players that we have got, because everyone's saying, freaking out we didn't add anyone in, but the players that we have got us to where we are now.
We did add some people to our club. What are you on about? We haven't talked about.
We did. I haven't got there yet, but I don't think they're going to contribute for the rest of the season.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Okay, I'll give you that one.
Well, any of them actually there, or did we send them all back out immediately?
Well, I think there's one that may have come, but I think he's going to be in the under-23s or the academy, so that doesn't count. Well, let's move on to that then, because like I said, the bottom of the list, all pretty much youth players being sent out. Nothing really too surprising with Murray. The only one I guess was surprising was Chambers. Did anyone see that coming? To actually go to Villa.
No,
I mean, it's not
I kind of
surprising that
also
he left, but
forgot he was around. So I was more surprised. Like, oh, Chambers is gone. Oh, he is still. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't have picked
that.
Villa. Like, I feel like Villa was slightly higher than I kind of expected, like a club he'd land at. But I mean, hopefully he can do a kind of trick. They did need like some sort of centre back reinforcement, so I think he would just be there, like kind of a last resort sort of option. But they might need that.
Yeah, it's a strange. I mean, from my point of view, it doesn't really strengthen them. So
I think it's just literal depth. Like they needed just one more centre back. So
like us.
Yeah. We like to give. We don't like to enhance ourselves.
All right, so let's go on to incomings because it's slim pickings.
What are you talking about? We've got Trusty.
Trusty in the process, as everyone is saying.
Oh, good lord.
Yeah, we were talking just before we started. It's quite interesting that we've purchased a player from a Kroenke club has purchased a player from a Kroenke club and then loaned him back to that Kroenke club. Quite an interesting conundrum to kind of get your head around, but it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for him. Matt Turner, never heard of him. Cool that he's staying in New England. Awesome.
I almost write when I was writing up, Revolution. I almost wrote Patriots.
Kroenke would not be happy with that one. And Leno Silva is probably going to be one to join the academy, right? He's probably a young prospect that they've scouted and thought, Trusty the clown, thanks, man.
For some reason, I thought Matt Turner was like a young kid or something. He's like 27.
Is he?
Yeah, so he's from memory, he's you might know more than me, Zan. He's first choice for America national team. Or he's
He's
definitely in
played
the squad.
15 times for them that I'm seeing.
He's
He
a
played
keeper.
just in the
Okay.
last couple of games recently, so yeah, like he must have just kind of eked himself up into there.
But I mean, it's kind of what we need is someone that can do a job, but not really wanting to see him too much.
Yeah,
it's not
I honestly-
sustainable. It's not
I just wish I
sustainable
actually
having.
had like something useful to add. It's just like they're just complete unknown.
Well, that's why I brought you in, man. You're supposed to be the knowledgeable one.
Yeah, I'm good at like European football stuff. I got no idea about the MLS.
And you live there.
So here we go. Matt Turner made his international debut on the 31st of January 2021 for the United States team. He recorded a clean sheet, saved a penalty. He started in all 6 games for the US in the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup. 5 clean sheets, a 1-0 win against Mexico in the final. For his performance, he was awarded Best Goalkeeper of the tournament. Okay.
So I mean,
Yeah, let's go on that.
That's all Wiki has.
I think he was named the player of the season last year in the MLS as well.
Look, I mean, he just lost to Canada, so I don't know. It's hard to have too much hope. Then again,
And I mean-
Canada's actually on the up. Like, I'm pretty keen on them at the moment.
Yeah,
it's always hard to support Americans in football as well, for me anyway.
John, is
That's
it,
watching lose. Sorry,
John
American fans.
Herdman. John Herdman's the coach of the
Yeah.
Canadian team. Yeah, he used to be involved in the All White setup here in New Zealand. So
Really cool.
he's had a good career here in New Zealand. So it's good to see him kicking.
From what I'm gathering, he is very well liked over there, and like he's obviously doing like quite successful. Like Canadian football's on the up.
Funny
Keeping
that.
that's a good point there, Tim. Yeah, because everyone is hyping stepping up quite a bit. So to have kept him out, he must have something about him.
Yeah, that's good. But obviously, he's not coming for the season, right?
Not
No,
coming
no,
for the
no.
season. So
I
two
think
Americans, both staying in
I think
America.
he's been brought in to be Ramsdale's understudy going forward because Leno's probably going to be off at the end of the season. So
Well, that's what I was just saying. Yeah,
I was quite
it's
surprised he
obvious
didn't go.
Leno's obviously leaving
Yeah,
at the end of the season, so it's not really sustainable. We've tried it many times to have 2 what you maybe
Number
consider
ones.
first choice keepers, and
or is Ramsdale go? Dun dun dun.
I think we're just going to play him striker. I think we're just going to chuck him up top, play striker.
Oh, did you
he's
see that
finishing
goal he scored?
Yeah,
I could definitely see him being someone that gets like a 96-minute winner on a corner or something. Yeah, he's got that personality.
Rush goalie, and he's going to do the big power slide, isn't he? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Anand is asking, how will we get a top striker if we don't offer Champions League?
That's a very good question. You're going to have to scout
Do we-
really, really well.
What do you classify as a top striker? Like, are we even a realistic chance to get anyone that is classed as a top striker at this point? Like, yeah, we've kind of got to still get back to that level, and it's going to take a few years for that point. Like, I was hoping for the Vlahovic thing, even though I knew that would never come off, and I feel like that was probably the closest we've got to really getting a chance of a next like top striker level. So I am interested to see who we go after next, but I honestly can't pick it at this point.
Mike?
Maybe sorry, just to add, maybe someone who is not as similar like club level of ours, but like their club goes through a similar thing. Like if Lille don't make the Champions League, for instance, maybe it might be more appealing to Jonathan David, same with like Real Sociedad and Isaac, or just options like that. Like but good strikers, but already like sort of lower tier clubs at this point, or similar tier to us, but we have the English Premier League money, so that's always a plus.
Yeah,
I
think
haven't
it's gonna
seen.
be- Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, I was just going to say I haven't seen him play. But yeah, we're talking about Jonathan David. But their other striker for Canada's going pretty well as well in the qualifying. I think he scored 12.
Lauren, he's I
Lauren.
think just with the goal against USA the other day, he's like now Canada's all-time top scorer.
Because he's at Besiktas, and he's got a pretty decent record, and he's only 26. But again, I haven't seen him
I thought
play,
he was quality
so
for some reason.
I haven't seen him play. But I mean, could he be an option? Zan, have you seen him play?
Yeah, I don't pay enough attention to the Turkish Super League,
When-
and even this season,
When you're
like
as desperate
every-
as us, everyone's an option.
Just do what you do in the A League. Just YouTube clips. That's all our scouting needs to do. Just chuck up the YouTube clips on the big screen.
Oh,
and-
look, the ideal one would be Jonathan David for he's probably got the more potential, and he's younger. He's going to cost more as well. But like, yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't mind Laren. I don't see it being counter success if that's who Arsenal get like at the end.
Yeah.
I can see like we have a kind of a voracious fan support. I don't imagine that going down well.
No, I think it's going to be real hard to get a striker in, considering the position we're in now, because every club in the world knows that Arsenal are desperate for a striker. So the cost is going to go up, which is going to be a tricky one. Plus, everyone's going to be fighting for the same players, right? Everyone wants the next big thing. So, and if you don't have a carrot of European competition, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, whatever it is, it's going to be even harder to bring them in, unless somehow they've managed to buy into the Arteta project wholeheartedly. Maybe Arteta's made him some pasta or something. I don't know. I'm not sure about Timo Werner. He doesn't seem to score many goals. The one the ones that I actually really
if you're going to put him up there, at least spell his name right.
Well, it sounds like Werner.
Yeah, we know what he means.
We missed out on him in the last window, though. It was what's his name? Tammy Abraham. He was the one that we should have gone for. He had English experience. He was young. He had heaps of potential, and look what he's doing now. He's banging the goals in left, right, and centre. Yes, he's under Mourinho, etc., but he's doing awesome. The other potential that Corey and I have talked a lot about on the review podcast is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He's been an interesting player. I'm not sure who Nes, right?
In the series is the striker at Sevilla.
Okay. Not sure, Tim. Yes, I'll take anything at this moment. Like,
the call we take anything. I've always just thought, and it's like he's almost too raw still, but like he's quite effective. I don't know, like. I've never really thought in the series like a serious sort of like potential for Arsenal, but I mean, hey, I'd love to be proven wrong.
Better than Nketiah?
Oh well, that's not hard. Yeah,
and considering after this season we will have one striker on the books, right?
Look, you know what? I mean, I don't see us going for him, but he might actually potentially be available as well because Sevilla already kind of got their next ideal striker set up, and like there's been teams after Nensieri before, and like Sevilla are a selling club. Like, I mean, he might be available like for actually relatively decent price. I do see the Osimhen links, and it's just like I wish, but I don't see us landing.
I'm loving George's attempts at spelling here. It's quite
it's
good.
Close.
Yeah,
he's got a few of the letters mixed around.
He's doing well. It's strikers are going to be a tricky position. No matter who we go for, and like we can speculate all we want, and we can throw names out there, but it's going to be expensive if we want someone, and they're going to have to buy into the project because I don't see us finishing Champions League. Champions League is going to be a real hard task for the squad, the lean squad that we've got now. So,
and that's just it. Without the Champions League, to get someone, we are going to have to pay over the odds, not just in transfer fee, but their wage as well. Like we're going to have to really, like just basically grease the wheels just to get him in as much as, because like that's just it. It's basically Champions League or bust in terms of like those really high tier caliber strikers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we kind of have to go a bit of like a slightly more risky one that might have like the potential or payoff. But yeah, it's.
Well, I hear Dylan's laced up his boots and he's got hair like Nick Bentner now, so he must be banging those goals in, right?
No, my chance probably never was even a chance, is long gone, but I'm getting my son up and ready. So, yeah, give him 16, 17 years, he'll be there.
How long do we have to wait? Oh, God.
Not that long, only 11 years till he's going to sign his first senior contract. So, yeah, be patient. It's coming. I'm trying as fast as I can. Yours is closer. Yours is closer, Mike.
Yeah, he's turning 16 tomorrow. That'll be. But no,
No.
No.
Oh,
You're supposed to be positive about your
doesn't
your
say
sons.
have faith. We don't have to know this. Just like hype him up.
Yeah.
Come on, Manchester
So-
United once bought Bebe. Like, anyone can buy anyone.
Yeah. Do we reckon maybe no. No,
Speaking
definitely.
of
I have
Speaking
such a
of-
soft spot for those two. Like, oh,
Bentner
I
as
wish
well.
they would've
Speaking of
panned
Bentner,
out.
what's he up to? I know he's retired, but surely he can stand
He,
up from the top
um,
and.
Shemek and
he's modelling
Jorginho must
somewhere.
have the. They must have the.
Here we go. No,
highest,
this one.
like-
This one's
nah,
really neat. Yeah.
sort of.
I actually heard today that Sanogo is available on a free transfer.
We like free transfers.
Yeah, we do.
He's probably not worth the 150,000 we'd pay him for it, but
Oh, you imagine if he came in though and like just banged 30 goals in the rest of the season.
surely he's figured out how to use his body by now. So he might be decent.
He was like a giraffe when he played, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
I'm sure he's grown into it and learned how it all works.
He hasn't played for a club for 6 months. He was at Huddersfield Town last.
Yeah.
Has he
Didn't
left
score.
Huddersfield? Has he? Yeah.
Yeah,
29
geez,
years
he
old.
did-
Geez, it seems like an age since he
Remember he
was
scored
with
like
us.
4 or something in the preseason game against like Benfica, I want to say, and that was literally all the goals he ever scored for us. He looked
Yeah.
great in that game.
Well, he won an FA Cup trophy, so
He's got a
more
medal.
than others down the road can say.
Those bin
I was
chickens.
kind of hyped up for him in the first place, but that was just because he, like on the previous Football Manager game at that point, he was like the hyped up dude of that one, and he was just like everyone signed him because he was awesome, and then yeah, it didn't. One of those ones doesn't pan out in real life as well. It's always disappointing, but oh well. He tried. He just, like you said, can't use his
Tried.
body.
He tried. Yeah.
All
All right, so move us on.
yeah, feels like we haven't got a game for a while still.
Another
Yeah.
week or so of it.
We're still in Dubai, so it's I think second week of February. We've got to wait
Yep.
till.
Yeah,
Um,
Feb,
So another week or so.
Oh, hopefully released.
So, I'll chuck a question at you, seeing as Dylan's got nothing left. Jack Wilshere.
Oh,
So, I mean, we're all very romantic as football fans and all that sort of stuff, and I'm sure those guys that are on the chat boards are gonna smash me for this. But watching Jack Wilshere train and knowing the love he has for the club, is it worth it? Giving him 6 months contract to the end of the season, backup defensive midfielder. He'll give his all no matter what. Yeah, he might be a little bit older and he's injury prone, whatever. But what have we got
unless
to
we're going to
lose?
give a youth guy a shot in that role, like, yeah, why the fuck not? Like, we need depth in that role. Like,
I,
but, like,
I
yeah,
think,
it's a last case scenario, but like, if the scenario does plan itself out, then yeah, hell yeah. Like, what have we got to lose at that point?
I think depending on whenever the Spurs game's rescheduled, he gets a one game contract just for that game. He comes on in the last few minutes as the third sub and just takes someone out. Maybe no one
I
in
thought you were going
particular.
to say something like
just-
really nice, like scores like a last minute goal or something. Like, no,
No, just
you don't
Harry
even have
Kane.
that much
Just
faith.
Just take
levels
Harry
him.
Kane out. Yeah.
Just levels him.
Yeah, he might get red carded, but 90th minute sub just for that. And then he can retire.
I would pay him Aubameyang's weekly salary just to do that. £350,000 just to take Harry Kane out, and then off
Knock-
we go.
knock
You're a
that
good-
Look, if
list
you
out
have
of
that
him.
to pay him, go for it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but seriously, like George is saying, if we get a midfield injury, then yes, but only that way. I would rather have him in the squad.
Well, I think I said
just have him
way
floating
back
around.
when he first started training, if he's given a contract, surely we have faith in Arteta. Or some people have faith in Arteta enough
Well,
that if he's given a
exactly.
contract, then we believe he's good enough to play. Otherwise, why would we give him a contract?
Geez, if we believe Yaya Sanogo is good enough to play, we can believe Jack Wilshere can play.
We had hope. Hope is different than like reality that we didn't know yet. Like there has been a thing with a few Premier League clubs that have done this now, but like they've signed like older players, like usually a bit older than like Wilshere is now. So I don't know if you go for it as much, but usually like 35 plus. just old dudes, and they brought him into like the under 23 setup just to kind of give like that bit of like more mentorship and leadership experience.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's something that's gone pretty well for that. So like, I don't know if he'd be keen for that. But if he does get another run in the club, like I would love him in that sort of role.
Yeah, I think is it Julio? I hope I'm saying that right, mate. Yes, he is on the trip, which was quite a surprise to all of us. So the fact that he's gone away on this warm weather training camp break, whatever they want to call it, COVID catching trip thing. The fact that he's gone there with everybody else with the squad is awesome, because I think he will get something out of it, and it's not like it's going to cost us an arm and a leg. So, why not?
I mean, he went and Aubameyang didn't, so I guess it shows where our priorities were a bit more so. Like, just I almost kind of wondered at the time if it was like, are we just really rubbing in Aubameyang's face? It's like, no, screw you. We're done with you, dude. We're bringing Wilshere along.
And that's a conversation I had with my boss, who's also an Arsenal fan. Was today was it's amazing to see that the club actually stuck to their guns on that. He breached the rules. They backed Arteta, and they followed through. I mean, I don't know many clubs that would go down that route and just say, "Look, these are the rules."
I can't think of another instance.
No,
quite recently for something like that. Like, I think part of the reason was I really think they wanted to extricate us, like Arsenal, from the Aubameyang contract. So, like, this has provided a good excuse to do so. But at the same time, like, to actually stick to your convictions like that, like, yeah, it's not something you really notice a lot. Like, player power is quite a thing nowadays.
Yeah. Amazing strength from the powers that be at the club to do that. So, and good on them for backing Arteta. Obviously, they have full belief in what he's doing and what he's trying to do at the club. So, us as fans can only back it, right? Especially on this side of the world. It's not like they'll hear us.
Yeah, I mean, they've got form as well, kind of, when it comes to that. Like, they've got that Sean McVay at the Rams, who's only like 30 something, and they've backed him heavily. And it's paying off. So yeah, and it seems like that's kind of the way they're going with their teams. Is if they can find someone they believe in who's young, then they're backing them 100%. And who knows what they're talking about when he was over watching the game the other week. But sounds like a new contract in the works. And
look, the next time you give me 70 million to spend, let me spend it. Don't buy another Pepe.
Yeah.
Especially like him, like that's a lot of money.
A lot of money, yes, a lot of money for not much return.
He scores once a season.
Oh, he's good.
He had a good
that value attributed to him is the thing that happens with a lot of like high, just crazy inflated transfer fees now. It's just like they're never going to be able to live up to that value. It's crazy.
I mean, we obviously he doesn't play that well when he's being called on. We haven't really used him that well as well, and he doesn't really fit in the way we play. I don't know. Like, he had a good AFCON, so maybe he can bring some of that back. But...
we've talked about this before on the podcast, Dylan. When he was I think he was in France, right? The team was kind of centered around him. And
they were.
The play was directed to give the ball to Pepe and let Pepe score. Where we don't. That's not how Arteta has set our team up. What's his name just came up? Julio saying, "Why don't we try Pepe up front? Why not? Give it a go." He's if we're stuck, like, he can hit a ball. Like, there's no denying that he can take a shot. He knows where the goal is. Just our system isn't set up for his style of play of 600 million step overs, running over the ball like a horse and then kicking the ball out. That's not how.
Well, there's a bit of that, but when he was at Lille, like, a lot of it was counter breaks, and he was just like the guy up top, and they were just ready to break him and look to him every time. Like, that's why he had such like huge numbers there that season that we signed him.
But the Premier League doesn't play like that.
No, like, it was. We didn't need a person in that position. Like, it was not the right call. But
no,
I would have liked him a different club. Just it had to be Arsenal for that much.
Yeah. Well, what was the question after that one? How much do we trust the process? Jesus, if I was to put a number on it, maybe 60-40 in the positive.
And that's saying something for you, Mike.
Yeah, I'm usually
You're not a positive person.
No. So I'm kind of I've seen the progress this year, whether or not it's been up and down, etc. I know it's a really young squad, but I can see where he's trying to go and what he's trying to do. He's got some very, very young players who are very inexperienced and are still learning their trade and learning to play with each other. Like, we brought Tomiyasu in out of the blue, out of nowhere, and he's had to figure out, 1, how to speak the language, 2, how to play the football, 3, to deal with the Premier League, and 4, who the hell am I passing to? Right? And he's done it really well. So obviously there's a good way to integrate players into the squad when they're young. Ben White, another example. His centre-back guy doesn't speak very much English, right? So having to figure out that partnership and all that. So
and neither does really any of the back line. Tomiyasu, Tierney.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you can understand him, but the young players are doing well. We just need to understand that they're young, right? They're getting there. So I trust the process enough to support the team and support Arteta, but I'm not like fully hooked into it, if you know what I mean.
How bad does the season have to get? Like, how bad do we have to finish for you to say that's it? Or how good does it have to be okay, give him a new contract?
I think Champions League is the goal. I suppose that we used to use this in corporate world, was you had a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal, right? Winning the league is out. Champions League is our BHAG, our hairy, audacious goal. I think the actual goal is to get back into Europe. Doesn't matter what version of Europe, because that's where the money comes from. And that's where you can build and attract the players. The one that will turn me off is probably if we finish anything below 7th.
And do you think that's on Arteta and he's gone, or we've got a young squad sticking with him for another season?
I think there's a couple factors that'll play into there. One will be the transfer policy. Why we didn't buy another striker will come back into question. 2, why did we send so many players out on loan that we shouldn't have? And why did we get rid of Aubameyang when we should have? All those sort of questions will start being thrown up. So, it's an interesting one, but I don't think Arteta's head will roll, but I think will need to be an inquest, and I'm sure the Amazon Prime show is going to give us.
I can't wait for that show. That's going to be going to be brilliant.
Those things always are terrible.
I don't think Arteta's head will roll, but I think there'll be some fan uproar, as there always is with Arsenal, right? And the media will call it a saga and all that sort of jazz just because it's Arsenal, but there will be some questions asked.
Zan.
What he said.
Thanks.
Easy as that.
In terms of trusting the process, okay, I trust it on the field. Like, I can see the shoots of what Arteta is trying to do. I'm pretty confident in that. I'm still mad at the board for a lot of the Super League nonsense from last year, and I haven't quite forgiven him there. So I got a lot of things to work on that side of the game. But so yeah, I'm quite excited. I'm really liking the fact that we took the stand on Aubameyang. We've really given the faith in the kids. I'm being very impressed with Tomiyasu this year, like bringing him in. I think Lokonga will be good in the future as well. Like, I'm quite positive on him. Like, it's just, there's a positive vibe coming around the club that I haven't felt in a number of years. So I'm keen to see that continue. In terms of like finishing and stuff, yeah, again, what Mike said, like, top 4 Champions League is like, okay, no, let's say, like, yeah, obviously something is going right. Like, there'd be no reason to ditch him. I personally would keep him even if the season kind of deteriorates. At least it doesn't go until like an Everton style level. In that case, like, all bets are off. The club can just like disintegrate, as they seem to be doing. But
they've signed some good players though.
Yeah,
But
I
what
still
can
get
their
this
manager do?
feeling. I still get this feeling it's all going to blow up, and I'm kind of keen to.
I hope it
watch.
does, but yeah,
What do you reckon with Lampard? Yeah, do you think?
it might be
That's
his
part of
level.
why I hope it blows up.
It
It's
might be
funny
his
as well.
level,
Like
right?
everyone was talking. I remember not so long ago, all the fans were saying, "Well, you're letting Yusimov go and fund Everton. You're not accepting any of his money. You're kicking him out of our club. What has he done at Everton?
Yeah, but
Nothing.
he's not the one in charge of that. He's
No,
just
I know,
basically giving
but I'm
money
just
as security.
pointing
I
out
get it.
that he's gone to another club and nothing has come to that club that we're not missing out on
Well,
anything.
That club's been suffering for years before that as well. Like they've been a shambles for like this has been building for like nearly a decade. It seems like.
They're just lucky they play us twice this season.
Yeah,
They're guaranteed one more win.
That was it. That 2-1 they beat us at, and that's like their only good result for like months. And it's just bloody Arsenal.
So back to Arsenal. So yeah, I don't see any switch, especially if they're already talking about offering a new contract. I don't see any situation. Well, again, unless
It would take something catastrophic.
yeah, unless something major happens. Yeah, he ain't going anywhere. And as Zan said, on the field, mostly positive for the season, right? The way we're trying to play, the results haven't been that bad, except for some of the bigger teams. And his man management seems to be okay. Like people keep trying to question it, but
it feels
he's
like
handled the
he's getting through
Aubameyang
to the
situation really well. He's handling the kids really well, and even ones like Saliba, he could have easily kept him around and just sat him on the bench this season. Where, how does that help anyone? I know a lot of people saying, he shouldn't be at Marseille, he should be at the club. But does he really get into the team this season? I feel like a lot of decisions have made.
I mean, like we can only go off because he's never had a chance, so he must just be a training sort of thing. But that's why everyone has the frustrations of this Saliba situation, is because we've never actually got a chance to see him. Like, is he good? In theory, he is, but he's actually been doing pretty well at Marseille as well. But well,
that's what I mean. Like from what we're seeing, we're getting a brilliant centre back, but would he have been?
I just wonder if I'm just hoping we haven't like burnt the bridge with him already in a similar way. Like Guendouzi might come back and he's still really good, but I don't see him wanting to play for us at this point.
I don't think it matters if we burnt the bridge with him. I think it's what he's doing at the moment is adding to his value. So if we have burnt the bridge and he's not going to come back, we can on-sell him with a good reputation for what he's doing at Marseille. If he comes back, we've got a good centre back. So either which way, I think we're winning in that situation.
And I think we've still got 2 years left. Is that right when he comes back? So 2 years is, his value is still there.
I agree.
Is he 27 million or something still? I don't know. But,
something like that, yeah.
I don't know if we'll still get that for him. But I mean, next season, things to look forward to, right? He's definitely, if he does come back, he's definitely going to get game time.
It's going to be a very interesting, not just end to the season, but I think this off season is going to be the one that defines the Arteta. I don't want to say dynasty or whatever it is, but reign, whatever you want to call it, Reich, whatever he's doing. This transfer window that's coming up is the one that's going to define his Arsenal. Like, what is his Arsenal? Well, he's had that awesome transfer window to get in all these young players. He's now had a transfer window to clear everyone out, all the dead wood that he didn't want. That's all gone. He's got a very lean, very mean-looking squad at the moment. The next window is the last sort of opportunity to make those final tweaks, right? Bring in these kids back from loan and finish like setting up the project going forward. We're going to get some good results this season. We're going to get some bad results, but this last transfer window is probably his last sort of building blocks of his project, right? And then we'll see what he's truly made of. He needs to get one or two strikers in. He needs to get a central midfielder in, and he probably needs to bring in a centre back, whether that's Saliba back on a loan or another centre back in. We know we're going to do this Leno swap with another goalkeeper, and then he should have his young, dynamic, energetic squad with Tierney as captain, we all hope, going forward.
And that's what you said at the very beginning of the show, like shaving the Aubameyang money off that contract and just, I don't know what anyone really expected us to really go out and buy. Like, if Vlahovic was available, then yeah, go for that. Otherwise, it was like, we're never going to bring anyone too crazy in here. Like, we are really saving that money for that concerted effort, like you said.
Yeah.
So this summer's going to be a big one.
Not many clubs will sell their top draw striker or their striker mid-season when they know they've got a big run in, COVID's around and all that sort of stuff. They'll all wait till the end of the season and then jack their prices up.
Yeah,
but
there has to be extenuating circumstances. That was the case with Vlahovic. Like, there were reasons with that contract situation. They wanted to get the money now, and that was like, yeah, fair enough, you can cash in now. But like, yeah, that is an exception to the rule. Like, yeah, for the most part, like you said, they're not going to be wanting to do that.
I agree. You generally don't see those big transfers in the January one. It's usually just
or if you do, they go wrong.
Yeah.
Good old Fernando Torres to Chelsea.
And Aubameyang.
He had his moments.
He did. I guess one other thing is, lastly as well, it is a positive. I know people are trying to say, we didn't get anyone, but it's very Arsenal to go at the last minute and just spend money that we don't really want a player, but we'll take him just to appease people, So
Hey,
it's
we
kind
could
of
have bought
good
in
that,
Kim Kallstrom again.
yeah. But isn't it better to not just buy anyone? Obviously, if we had the targets, it was obvious that if our targets were available, we would have got them. We did offer money for Vlahovic. He just didn't want to come. So the money was there. The intent was there. We just didn't get our targets. So we didn't spend the money. Arsenal in previous years would have spent the money on Pepe or someone just to get someone in. But, maybe it's a good thing. It shows that we actually do have a plan and we're going to stick to it.
And there's confidence in the players that are there to deliver, right? Sometimes when you're that desperate and you're splashing the cash on a Pepe, for instance, the players that are already in the squad will go, but that's my spot. Do you not trust me, sort of thing? So at least this way we know who we've got. They know the system. Go forth and bulge old onion bags, please.
Well, I think Arsenal of a couple of seasons ago probably pays the buyout clause of Isaac today. I think a couple of seasons ago we may have done that, but
I honestly wouldn't be too unhappy with that, but that's just me.
No, like I wouldn't have been too unhappy with him coming in either. But maybe they think they can still get him on a cheaper deal next year. So I don't know, but look, there's so many opinions. There's
70 million
reactions everywhere. I had to stay off. Like I was trying to watch a video, a stream earlier this morning, just after or just before the window closed, and I had to turn it off. Otherwise, it just brings your whole day down. But look, I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to end it there, but it's been good fun. Have to do this again. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Yeah,
I'd be keen if you guys want me.
I don't know. You're an Australian, so
yeah,
only
I do kind of feel a bit dirty
only one
being
Australian.
here. So
yeah, only one
you,
Australian.
You are an Australian too, aren't you, Dylan?
I am. I've had to denounce my
he
heritage to
doesn't
be able to
count
come on
anymore.
here, but I am originally from there.
With a haircut like that, Australia can have you back, mate.
Hey, I'll trade you.
Yeah, your haircut's all right, yo. I don't
See,
mind.
that's when
you at least wear
everyone
an
talks
Arsenal
about
shirt.
Closed borders and everything. I'm all for closed borders because they can't kick me out. You're stuck with me. I'm sorry.
Thanks, lads.
No, thanks, guys.
thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Dan.